No, dog, you'll die for them.
Real talk.
See, that's what cats out here be running their mouth. You ain't willing to die for what you saying, but I'm willing to die over what you said.
Comedian, mogul, best-selling author, actor, the list goes on. He's a legend, Steve Harvey. I present to some and introduce to others the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey.
I like that.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
It's a pleasure, man.
Man, I got you, y'all laced up and ready. Got your scotch, per your request. Got your cigar, you know what I'm saying, a darker blend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom. And we can just start it off simple with a little simple toast. Would you like to make the first toast?
All right.
There you go. Yes, sir.
All right. Here's to everybody that gets up and keeps getting up. Every time you fall, rise again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
So,
you got the good stuff.
This is Sip and Smoke where, number one, this is a candid conversation. You feel me? You the OG in the game. One of the pioneers of Black excellence from the entertainment standpoint.
Wow.
You know, I just started off, for me, take me through the world of Steve when you just have this big accomplishment. You just sign a deal, you create something that's like what you're drinking, what you're smoking.
I try to reward myself along the way, you know. I take everything in levels, you know, like I reward myself as I accomplish. I don't just reward myself as I want things.
Right.
When I see something I want, I attach it to a goal.
Wow.
That keeps the drive alive. I'll always keep the goals out in front of me. And then when I do reach the goal, that's the reward. Cigars for me is like yoga to a lot of people because it's a breathing exercise. You know, it's a moment to reflect. It's really, it's not the flavor, it's tobacco.
Right.
It ain't the flavor, these ain't delicious.
Right.
You know, it's tobacco, you know what I mean? But what it is, it symbolizes accomplishment for me. So I get to sit down and breathe and take in my moment and enjoy the ambience of where I am and the accomplishment that I made. And it trains your brain to always aim for something.
Right.
See, what hurts us, man, when we start making money is when we first make money, we've been without so long that we just go by. And I did it in the beginning too. You know, my first piece of money I made, I spent all of it because I had nothing.
Right.
But as I learned over the years, man, I started tapering that down and I started working towards rewards, you know.
With this new show, this is something that people haven't necessarily seen me in. They used to see me with a football in my hand, a helmet on, being an athlete. Give me some things, some do's and don'ts that you can empower me with to go to the next level.
Well, I mean, the first thing that's kept me relevant for so long is authenticity. I think you can't be in front of the camera for a sustained period of time and not be authentic. Right. Because you can't fake the funk, but for so long. Authenticity is the best thing you could do. You just got to be Cam no matter what. Now, that's gonna come back to bite you sometimes. Right. Because everybody don't want the real Cam Newton all the time. Everybody don't want the real Steve Harvey every time. I've just grown up to be authentic on TV. I'm myself. This is how I talk. You know, look, man, they told me a long time ago, they said, you're gonna have to change the way you talk if you won't stay on TV, because you're too country. And your grammar ain't correct. So I said, well, let me ask you a question. Which one of these sound best to you? I am broke or I'm is rich? Now, which one of them sound best to you?
Me?
I went with I'm is rich.
I swear.
So if I change all the way I am, I'm gonna mess around and be broke.
But a lot of times people forget that and they look at me, they look at what I wear, they look at how I talk, they look at how I look. And I used to always say to people, especially when I came into the league, it was like, you know, this is the blueprint, the Drew Brees, the Tom Bradys, the Peyton Mannings, these type of players, the Steve Youngs, right? And for me, I was like, yeah, that's fine, but I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of those athletes, they're great in their own right, but in order for me to impact and empower my community, I need to be me.
Yeah.
For the kid that sees me being and doing the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm accomplished, they can be able to relate to it and say, man, Cam came out of these streets, I can come out of these streets. You said something that's very impactful about Muhammad Ali. You know, growing up in the 60s, he was the first person that you heard as a black person say, I'm great, and you believed him.
He gave me hope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a little kid, man.
Right.
I am the greatest. I went, what? And it implanted in my mind that I could be great at something too. Mm-hmm. You don't get paid money to be ordinary.
They don't pay to see humble. From a father's lens, what advice could you give me being a father, by allowing your children to step in their own greatness?
The thing I've learned about fatherhood, ain't no manual, ain't no blueprint for raising your kids. And you have to allow them because they're going to, so it's not you allowing them. They're going to make mistakes.
Right.
And you have to allot for those mistakes. Because no matter what you teach them as a parent, they one day are going to make a decision that's completely adverse to everything you've ever taught them. Mm. Just stay with them, because they're gonna make mistakes, and you gotta keep loving them. Now, my sons, they're a little bit different. When they make mistakes, they can come to me, but I got that, you got to figure this out.
Right.
I'll give it to them. But one day, you got to be the head of a household. Mm-hmm. You got to be somebody's husband, somebody's father. It's going to require toughness, so I make them struggle a little bit more. My daughters is different. I'm protective of them.
Right.
If you attack my daughters or my wife, I'm coming for you. I'm real protective of them, but as a parent, man, you got to let them grow.
We both have something in common. Mm-hmm. And raising a stepdaughter, raising a stepson, raising a child that didn't biologically come from you, mm-hmm. it takes a hell of a man.
All
right?
day.
So for me, how does that change? How is the growth? Because there is some disconnect. There is some type of, I'll say, some mental tampering that you have to disassociate and say, because it's a man that has such an ego. You can feel so great, and if this child says, "You're not my daddy," it can make you feel this small.
Oh, look, man, I don't.
So how do you handle it? You know, taking on that type of responsibility in this day and age.
Yeah, you know, man, I done been through it because, you know, when I married Marjorie had 3 children. The challenge in that, man, is that, I mean, you know, one time one of them said to me, "You ain't my daddy," and then my question was, okay, but where he at though? You know, because I get tight too. Don't step to me disrespectful. Correct. Because I'm doing the job. And men who take on another man's responsibility, right. that should be a day for them. Right. You know, really. I mean, cats like me and you who step up, who play fathers, when cats done walk away from their responsibility, mm-hmm. that's a different kind of man.
It does take a hell of a man to be able to look a person in their eye and have the same love, the same compassion. If it came down to a life or death situation, you won't even blink.
You'll die for them.
Real talk.
See, that's what cats out here be running their mouth, you know, you don't understand. I will die for them. Now, whatever you saying, and that yakety yak you talking, you ain't willing to die for what you saying, right. but I'm willing to die over what you said. Now that's a different dude here we talking to now. Mm-hmm. See, cause we talking about grown ass man now.
I need to ask this question. When did it click for you? You were a boxer, mm-hmm. an auto worker, an insurance salesman, a carpet cleaner, and a mailman. Now you got your own show, yeah. A best-selling author. Yeah. A TV host, a radio personality, an actor, a mogul, mm-hmm. right? Like, when did it click?
Everything starts in your imagination. That's where young people got it. If I could tell a young person something, believe in your imagination, because imagination is real. I was writing jokes for this comedian named A.J. Jamal when I was 27 years old.
Right.
And I didn't know what he was doing with the jokes. He would give me $10 for writing a joke for him. But he was going to comedy clubs using them. I had never heard of a comedy club. So he'd give me $10, and so one day I was over his house turning in these jokes, and this girl named Gladys Jacobs was over there, and she said, "You the one write A.J. Jamal's jokes?" I said, "Yeah, I write some of them. I don't know what's happening." She said, "Why don't you tell the jokes yourself?" I said, "How?" She said, "Why don't you go to a comedy club?" And I said, "What is that?" She said, "You don't know what a comedy club is?" And I said, "No." She said, "You should come." So she took me to the comedy club, which was in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, 40 minutes from Cleveland. I went up there, man, and I had wrote some jokes for the dude that I hadn't sold him yet. So I just started doing the jokes. They had a clap off. I won amateur night, $50. We driving home that night, and I'm crying the whole way home. And she said, "Why are you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, no. I'm born. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. That was October 8th, 1985.
Looking back on your rise to fame, do you think if you had social media, would it have benefited your career, or would it have, would you have benefited more or benefited less having it or not having it?
I tell you like this, like the kings of comedy. We existed in 97, 98, all the way to 2000 with no social media. They didn't even do a newspaper article on us until the 3rd year we was on tour. We were selling out basketball arenas everywhere.
So you had Bernie Mac, rest his soul, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer.
That's right. And
yourself.
That's right. Said my best friend, right? I ain't never laughed so hard at nobody in my life than Said the Entertainer. We've been together. Me and Said met in '88.
Yeah.
We've been friends ever since. We was the Steve Harvey show. We was the kings of comedy. I mean, my career was tied to his. If it wasn't for Said, man, I probably wouldn't even be here at the level I'm at today.
Man, that's remarkable. We got a segment on this show where we do the nightcap. I ask the same question, and it's up to your discretion how you want to answer it.
Okay.
Right? So the nightcap consists of this. Steve Harvey, what's now and what's next? And is there anything you would like to do that you haven't done yet?
Your career is what you paid for. Your calling is what you made for. Right now, for me, I'm more in the motivational space than I am the comedy space. To teach and share the information I've learned since 1985 and before, it's 2 things you can't Google. You can't Google experience, and you can't Google success. Your ass got to get out here and get that.
Gotta get it.
Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. Like, I know I'm getting older. I'm 64 years old. Fly as hell, though. You know what I'm saying? As you looking, get your camera and zoom in. I'm fly. Dog, I don't let nobody take that from me.
Man,
you can say what you want to say. I'm 64 and still relevant.
Steve, my brother, the OG, Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for blessing us with your presence on Sip and Smoke, man. It was an honor, man. And I don't want you to take that lightly, or the viewer to take that lightly. You dropped some major gemstones in today, and I just want to say thank you for your blessings. Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Hold on, Cam. Let me say something to you.
So,
there's an African proverb. Lions don't turn around when small dogs bark. Don't even turn around, dog. You a lion.
Yes, sir.
When them small dogs is barking, you ain't even got to turn around. Because you turn around, you can snap their ass up. Dog, if a lion turn around on a small dog, that bitch is fitting to fold and crumble. Keep walking through the jungle, man, because you a lion. Lions don't turn around when small dogs bark.
Man, I'm gonna take that.
That's you, man.
I'm gonna take that. Appreciate you, Mr. Steve.
I'm glad you having me down here. This is a dope-ass spot.
You know what I'm saying?
You got the same amount of Ali pictures I got. I like that.
Appreciate everybody tuning in, Sip and Smoke. I'm your host, Cam Newton, with the unbelievable guest, Steve Harvey. I'm signing off. One finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love. So you was in the bag, huh?
Yeah.
Man, appreciate that. Bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Because normally, man, you know.
You don't have the opportunity to.
No. I can't say none of this on Family Feud. I can't say